my name is Jenna. I film a lot of productivity, lifestyle, bullet journal videos and vlogs. So if you want to hit subscribe, I'd really appreciate it. You guys, today I have my heart sunglasses on and I have a green tea matcha latte. It is so nice out. It's actually really hot right now in Arlington, Virginia, but I'm sitting out on like my shaded balcony and you know, it just feels really nice out. I know I can't assume that like everybody who ever stumbles upon my videos has seen all of my previous videos before, so I thought it would be fun to just bring you guys out here and we're just gonna talk and have a story time as I drink my matcha latte. I kind of want to start at the beginning of it all and tell you guys just about my college experience and yeah, we're just going to talk about college and work. For those of you who maybe are new to my channel or you just found my videos, first of all, welcome. I'm happy to have you. I got a comment from a wonderful subscriber to go into more detail about how I got my internship and my job and just how college was, and I feel like I address it here and there in work from home vlogs, but I figured for convenience sake it would just be fun to have a whole dedicated video on how I got my job, how college was for me, and just I guess stuff that I wish I knew. So if you want to know my college experience, how I got my internship, how I got my job, and all that stuff, then let's just go ahead and get started. I was born and raised in Maryland, and I actually went to a very small private all-girls school my whole life, and I don't know if you guys knew that. I feel like I might have mentioned it in like one or two videos, but I came from honestly a very, I would say, privileged background. I went to private school my whole life, and I feel like in school I was kind of raised to shoot high and aim big in terms of my goals in my education and my job. So I think it's also my personality too, but I think that personality was definitely fostered at the private school that I went to. I'm 24, if you guys didn't know, and I think to this day I go back and forth on whether or not like private school was really for me, because there's a lot of really amazing things that I think I learned in private school that I'm not sure if I would have gotten that experience in public school. I guess I'm just not sure if I would have grown the same way if I went to any different school. But just want to, I guess, like disclaim that I do come from a privileged background. So I went to private school my whole life, and I ended up going to the University of Maryland for college. And I feel like when you go to private school, you want to go to like an Ivy League or something, and I definitely did want to. The truth is I just didn't get into any of them. So I ended up going to my state school, which was the University of Maryland Public College, and I absolutely loved it. I think I went into college just trying to make it the best that it could be. I was, you know, sad to not get into any of like the Ivy League schools or the great private schools that I wanted to go to for college, but I just told myself, okay, I'm gonna make the most of going to Maryland and do the best that I can, and yeah, and just make the most of it. I went to college, and you guys probably already know this, but I entered college as a gov major because I thought that maybe I would want to go to law school. My parents told me my whole life that they thought I would be a good lawyer because I just knew how to argue very well and debate things. So I went into college as a gov major, maybe wanting to do law, but honestly having no idea what I wanted to do. I went into my freshman year just wanting to do the best I could, getting the best grades that I could, and just kind of, I guess, like exploring what other majors were out there. And that's how I came upon business school. So I don't even remember what it was. I just think I found myself interested in my business classes. So I ended up changing my major from gov to finance my sophomore year of college. But to change your major, at least at Maryland, you had to like apply into the business school. So I went through a whole other application process and applied to the business school, and luckily got in my sophomore year. So gov major all the way to finance. And why finance? I don't know. I think I chose finance because I am really good with numbers. I like numbers. I always liked math growing up, and I thought that I was really good at it. So I think that when I knew I wanted to do something business related, I wanted to incorporate numbers into that. So I did finance because I thought it was pretty like broad of a major. And I think to this day, if you guys know this, if I could have chosen, I probably wish I should have done accounting because my job is more accounting related. That's not my major, but overall my college experience was, I really liked college. I think I made the most of it. Almost all of my friends that I consider family now, I met in college, and I was actually in a sorority, if you guys didn't know that too. I was in the sorority Alpha Chi Omega. That's where I met Catherine. She was in the sorority already, and I kind of knew her from home, but we just instantly became best friends, and so yeah, I joined the sorority that she was in, so we just got even closer. And then I met Hanya and Natalie and Lisa and just made so many other best friends in college through my sorority. And then Jerry and Jay, you guys know them, they're my neighbors right now, but I actually met them in college too, towards the end of college. So it's kind of crazy because when I think about my time in college and my college experience, the only thing that I think about are really the friends that I've made and the people that will stay in my life forever, and that's all because of college. I feel like if there's anything that I wish that I knew, I feel like it was also in college that I really grew my self-esteem and my self-confidence, and I really, I guess for lack of a better term, like found myself and my identity. I feel like I met a lot of people in college that really broadened the way that I see things and the people that have impacted me. When I think about my college experience now, I think that if there's one thing that I wish I knew, it was that you don't have to pretend to be a certain type of person in order to make friends in college, especially when you first enter. I feel like you think you have to act a certain way or wear clothes a certain style or go to all of these social events, but that's just honestly not true. And if I could tell myself anything now, looking back at college, I wish I knew to just embrace myself and be myself early on. I think it was really at the end of college that I found my identity and felt confident in who I was, and I wish I had that sooner. And I wish I could have told myself you don't have to pretend to be somebody that you're not for the sake of making friends in college, because it just so happens that the friends that you do make in college are the ones that will still stay in your life, and they'll love you for exactly who you are, and they can't find who you are if you're not being that. So that is my college experience. I graduated in 4 years with a finance degree, and I have best friends I could have ever wanted, and that was college. Now shifting over from college more into like work, I know I've mentioned this before, but if you guys are currently in university and you're in the business school specifically, or if you're just in any school, there's definitely a career portal or a career page where companies will specifically come to your college and say, hey, we're looking for college students to work at our company, we're looking for interns. Here's this listing. So the summer before my junior year, so it was the summer after my sophomore year, I did this thing called an externship, which is a 2 to 3 day program. I found that through my business school's career portal. They were offering an externship program, which was basically just see what this company is like for 2 days, and yeah, my company was offering that for students going into their junior year of college. So I ended up doing an externship and I loved it. I would definitely recommend you guys look into externships if you're looking into going into consulting or corporate. It's a quick 2 to 3 day program, and you just kind of get a sense of what that company is like, and then if you like that company and you interview with them, then if you're lucky enough to get an internship offer, then that's how you land your summer internship. So that's what I did. I was lucky enough to get an internship offer after my externship, and I took it. And so I did an 8-week internship over the summer after my junior year. I just loved it so much because I loved the people that I met through the internship. I loved just how the company operated in itself. There was an emphasis on working in clients and working consulting, but there was also just an emphasis on being friends with each other and having a strong office culture too, which is something that I found really important. And honestly, I thought it was really rare to have such a strong office culture when you're working in like a big corporation. So that's what I did. I loved my summer internship, and I did the best to make the best impressions that I could. I worked really hard to hopefully earn a job offer at the end of my internship, and that's what happened. I feel like I had a really smooth transition into finding my job just because I was determined enough to find something, and I wanted to work really hard at wherever I did intern so that I could earn a job offer if I was good enough. And so that's what happened. It doesn't have to be so hard if you just work really hard and do your best to try to find something. You would be surprised how your job can land in your lap like that. That's what happened to me, at least. Okay, so now that you guys know my college experience and you know how I got my internship and my job offer, now let's just talk about transitioning into post-grad lifestyle. It was honestly so much harder than I expected to transition from a college life to a post-grad life, and I really did not expect that because I think that I'm not very good with change, and so much of your world changes at once when you start your job. Maybe you're moving to a whole new area, a place that you've never been before, and you have to figure out like how to live on your own, basically. Living on your own in college is not the same thing as living on your own post-grad, so there's definitely some figuring out I had to do there. I know I mentioned this before, but I think the hardest part for me in terms of transitioning from college to post-grad life was just finding my routine. And I feel like that might be surprising to you guys because you guys know in all of my vlogs I'm a very routine person and I like thrive well off of routines. But for some reason, finding a routine after starting my job was just so hard. I feel like I had to balance a lot of things at once. I had to balance networking and getting to know people at work and going to social events there, but also prioritizing my friends outside of work too, the friends that I've already made in college, and making time for them and seeing people after work for dinner to like say that I had a personal life after work. I had to figure out a new exercise routine because in college I could just exercise at any point of the day as long as it wasn't in class, but having a 9-to-5 job, which ended up being like an 8-to-6 or sometimes even more than that, it was so hard to find a good exercise routine. For a good 4 months, I could not get up early. Again, I feel like that might be surprising to you guys because I've gotten so good at it now, but it was a hard way to get there. I struggled a lot trying to find a good morning routine, and it just took me a really long time to figure out how to wake up early. But because I didn't have a good morning routine, I basically just devoted to everything after work to being social. So I didn't really prioritize my health and fitness when I first started my job, and I think that part of the transition was probably the hardest part for me because I value so much my health and fitness, and so feeling like I just couldn't have control over when I could exercise because I was so tired or I just wanted to see my friends, that was really hard. If there's any advice that I could have given myself when I first started my job, I wish I could have just told myself to be patient with myself and to be gentle with myself, because finding your own routine post-grad when you start your job will take time, and I think sometimes that's kind of the only answer that we can work with. There's no like cookie cutter formula on how to have a good post-grad life or how to transition from college to having a job. I just think in the end that takes time, and that's because we're all different and we need to allow ourselves the time to figure out what works best for us. And I wish I just wasn't so hard on myself when I couldn't figure out an exercise routine, or I felt like I was spending too much money because I wanted to see my friends after work and I can only see them if I'm getting dinner with them. Stuff like that. I think I was just too harsh on myself for feeling like I was either wasting time or money when I just had to allow myself the time to figure out what worked. Yeah, I don't know, that was my transition though. It took me a really long time, but once I was able to prioritize sleeping early, that was really what I had a hard time doing. And I feel like when I put my foot down and told myself I'm not gonna go to bed at 1 a.m. anymore, I'm gonna start going to bed before midnight. And look at me now, I'm going to bed at like 9 or 10 on a good day, 11 on a bad day. I just had to shift my lifestyle and figure out what I prioritized the most when I started my job and how I can make that work instead of just kind of winging it. So try out different routines, maybe try out waking up early for a whole week and see how that feels. Maybe try giving yourself a post-work night routine for a week and see how that makes you feel. Start a new hobby. Like I started bullet journaling post-grad really. I didn't start bullet journaling at all until after college because I just felt like I needed an excuse to take care of myself, and that's how I started bullet journaling. It was just a new hobby to start and a new way to spend time with myself and take care of myself. And now you guys, I am 2 years out of college, still trying to figure it out. I'm about to go through a whole nother new change because I'm about to live on my own for the first time this summer. Life is just always gonna change, you guys, and it's just a matter of figuring out how to work with it. But I'm really excited because I feel like I've come to really embrace change. I'm not afraid of change anymore, and I've just realized that it's only through change that we can really even grow as people. So I wish that's something I could have told myself too, to not be afraid of things changing. But yeah, you guys, that's my story. That's my college experience, my internship experience, and a little bit into my post-grad life, because honestly, you guys, I'm 24. My post-grad life is still starting. It's only been 2 years. Now I'm done with my matcha latte, so I think that means we're done with our story time. Well, that's gonna be it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. This was definitely a very chill. I literally just sat here for 45 minutes and talked to you guys and told you guys stories about my life. I know that a lot of this might not have been new to you because I talk about this all the time in my vlogs here or there, but I just wanted to make a dedicated video for any of you guys that might have just stumbled upon my channel and wanted to learn a little bit more about me and my college life and my career. So besides figuring out my routine, I think I had honestly a really smooth college. career, all that stuff. I feel like I kind of had a really smooth experience with that. I feel very lucky, but at the same time, I work really hard and I want to give myself credit for that too. I did the work to look for those internships and I did the work to get the best grades possible, and I put in the work to make lifelong friends. So I think a lot of it is feeling lucky and grateful, but don't forget to give yourself credit too if you're watching. If you're watching until the very end. That's it for today's video. Make sure you're subscribed if you're not already. I post new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in my next video. But until then, miss you already.